Hello everyone, welcome you all in the second session of the subject Materials Technology. This is N.K. Sagar from Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal. We are in this session we are going to discuss the next topic, that is crystal and amorphous under the subject Materials Technology. In the previous session, we have discussed the basics of the materials technology, how the materials how the material is defined, and how the materials technology is defined. What are the importance of the materials technology, and what are the benefits of the materials technology. So let us start today's session with the unit one, solidification of metals, in which we are going to discuss about the crystallization. What do you mean by crystallization? Crystallization is a technique used for the purification of the substances, a separation technique used to separate solids from the solution, that is known as crystallization. It is a process by which the crystals of substance are obtained from a hot saturated solution by cooling. When the hot saturated solution is cooled, then the process of becoming the crystals is started. Crystallization is a technique used for purification of substances, a separate technique to separate solids from the solution. Crystallization is the solidification of atoms or molecules into a highly structured form called a crystal. These are some examples of the crystallization. Some common examples are listed below. The crystallization of water to form ice cubes and snow. How the ice cubes formed from the water. This shows the example of the crystallization. The crystallization of honey when it is placed in a jar and exposed to a suitable conditions. The deposition of gemstone crystals. The three advantages of the crystallizations are listed below. The product of high purity can be obtained from one single step via the process of crystallization. The dry product formed from crystallization can be directly packaged and stored. The energy requirements and the operating temperatures of these processes are relatively low. Now, what is crystal and amorphous? So, before going to the exact definition of crystal and amorphous, let us understand solid. What do you mean by solid? Three states of matter are having three dimensions in which atoms are closely packed as compared to the other two states known as gas and liquids. So, on the basis of their structure features, they are classified as crystalline solids, amorphous solid, and polycrystalline solids. What are the characteristics? Solids have strong intermolecular forces. It means atoms are tightly held and they cannot move freely. They have definite shape and definite volume. But in case of liquid has less intermolecular forces between the atoms. Atoms are not held tightly because of poor intermolecular forces between the atoms, and they have indefinite shape but definite volume. Gases have very weak intermolecular forces. Atoms can be moved freely, indefinite shape and indefinite volume. The gases have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. Now, what is crystalline solid and crystalline material? Crystalline solid or crystalline material. A crystal is a three-dimensional body whose constituents are atoms, molecules, or ions. are arranged in three dimensions in some regular and repetitive pattern that is called crystal or crystalline solid or material. This is also called as crystal. For example, sodium chloride, sulfur diamond, sugar, etc. So, in the crystalline solids, the constituents like atoms, molecules, or ions, these are arranged in a regular pattern and they follow a repetitive pattern that is called crystalline solid. These solids have sharp melting points. When these solids are broken, they show a clean feature along the smooth surface. Fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. They have fixed melting point and boiling point. They are anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic in nature means different physical properties in the different direction. What is single crystal? A crystalline material is having a single grain is called a single crystal. A single crystal has only one grain or crystal and hence no grain boundary. That is known as single crystal. Now what is polycrystalline material or crystal? A crystal material consisting of many grains of different orientations like a ceramic is called polycrystalline. Or alternatively, if you crush a single crystal, you will obtain different grains with different orientations in the powder sample. A material which is having a number of grains is called a polycrystalline material. Single crystal is having a single grain, but polycrystalline material will have number of grains. That is called polycrystalline material. These are the diagrams showing the different materials. This is amorphous, in which the uh, solids constituents like atoms, molecules, or ions are not arranged in a regular pattern and they do not repeat a particular pattern. They are arranged, they are not arranged in a proper order. And this is the polycrystalline material which is showing the grain boundaries. And this is the crystalline material in which you can see the atoms or ions or molecules are arranged in a proper sequence and they follow a regular or repetitive pattern. For example, for to understand polycrystalline, now consider one example. If you consider one brick used in civil construction as a single grain or crystal, we can say if this is a single grain or crystal, one brick. But when the number of bricks joined together, right, then a wall made of many bricks with cement mortar between the bricks can be called as a polycrystalline wall. The complete wall is known as polycrystalline wall. The cement mortar between the bricks may be compared to grain boundaries. So this is the example. Most of the material exists in polycrystalline form. Now, what is amorphous or non-crystalline solids? So definitely, once we have understood the definition of the crystalline material, then definitely the things that will move opposite to the uh, solid crystalline material, that will be the definition of the amorphous material. The substances, those constituents are not arranged in a orderly manner are called amorphous solids. It means in this system, the atoms do not follow a particular pattern. Pattern. Constituents are arranged in a regular order, but up to short range and not in a long range. They are also called pseudo-solids or superfluid and differ from crystalline solids in many aspects. Example, the amorphous materials are glass, rubber, fuel, silica, plastics, etc. And the amorphous materials have not fixed melting point and they have variable melting point. But there are so many varieties in the glass, rubber, plastics, etc. But in case of crystalline materials, we have seen the crystalline materials have fixed melting point and fixed boiling point. Now the amorphous materials are isomorphous. Isomorphous means the same physical properties in all directions, but crystalline materials are known as anisotropic materials. Anisotropic means the physical properties will be different in the all directions. Now, these are the diagrams showing the crystalline material and amorphous material. This is the crystalline material in which the atoms are arranged in this manner. All atoms are arranged in a proper sequence, and they in a sequence for a long, and they are following a regular and repetitive pattern. But in the amorphous, the atoms do not follow a regular pattern. The atoms are disordered. This is amorphous. Now, this is the difference between the crystalline and amorphous materials. So, on the basis of our discussions, we can give the we can differentiate between the crystalline and amorphous materials. So, this is the table in which we have given point-wise the about the crystalline and the amorphous. So, thank you very much. The next session we will meet soon. So, the today's discussion we discussed about the crystalline materials and amorphous materials. Thank you very much.